Hello everyone. So this was posted on the Singularity subreddit a couple of days ago, and we ask, what type of work do you think are safest in the future? I think perhaps that might be work that combines knowledge with physical ability, like different kinds of technicians. They will neither easily be automatized nor replaced by AI. The English is a bit bad, but we get what they're saying. They're saying they'll never be easily automated or replaced by AI. Bonus if it's not done in a stationary or constant environment. Uh, so before we get into this, I wanted to look at this. Now, I don't actually know if this is real, but you may have heard about this before. And I think it's quite a famous quote, despite there being no evidence in the IBM archive. But it says, a computer can never be held accountable. And this was an internal IBM training in 1979. And this could not be more appropriate in our modern age of AI. And I do agree with this. You know, it's people that lose their jobs. It's people that are held accountable for decisions. Computers just do the things we do. Like at most, what's going to happen is there's going to be less people in work. But I think culturally right now, we're not at a place yet where we trust AI to be accountable. You can't tell off an AI. You can't sue an AI. Not yet, anyway. So there's another thing we're going to look at. You've probably seen this tab. I saw the first comment. I had a quick peek, and it was, so what type of work do you think is safest in the future? Prostitution, nursing, plumbing, electrician. Now, the first comment said I wouldn't be too sure about the first one. And, you know, I did a quick search, and yeah, I think they might be right, you know. I don't think any job is safe. Anyway, let's close this down. Enough of that. On a long enough timeline, everyone's employability drops to zero. I think, is this true? Do I take an extreme view? Do I say yes or no? I think in an idealistic world, all of humanity's work would be completely automated and no one would have to do any work, and everyone would be rich, and everyone would just be social creatures and just work on hobbies. Is this going to happen? Who knows? But theoretically, any job can probably be automated, right? If you give me like a specific job to do, that job can probably be automated. So anything which is sort of narrow enough and can be really well defined, you'll probably be able to automate. So this is technically true. I think this comes down to like resources and having an economy, maybe not I don't know, it's going to be complicated. We're a long way away from this. I'd like to hear your thoughts. While I do think it's true that any particular job could be automated, we have this thing to hold in our minds. Computer can never be held accountable, and obviously, whilst we still have money, will it make financial sense for these things to be automated always? Anyway, so okay, I've already accidentally closed the wrong thing. We've read that one. Unemployment will be a pretty safe bet no matter what happens. Yep. UBI. I mean, that's the reality at the end of the day. It's not going to happen overnight. I wouldn't panic because it's going to be like, this will happen slowly. When everyone is unemployed, the whole world will just descend into chaos unless there's safety nets and I don't know. We'll see. So I think the trades are easily the most safe. It requires physical movement in a complex and novel environments constantly. This is true. You're sort of, yeah, I mean, you're having to go from location to location. Each location is different and people want to speak to a person. I think it would be a long time. I mean, we're nowhere near, in my opinion, even autonomous vehicles yet, like completely autonomous, right? Globally. There might be, I know you have like Lyft and Teslas, they can drive autonomously in certain environments, but I think it's much easier for these to work on American roads than like, say like UK, where there's so many of these small country lanes and whatnot. So yeah, we're nowhere even near that, let alone having like robots that just constantly, yeah, also the financial side of it. Anyway, so very difficult to replace that unless you have a genuine AGI. I don't know if I agree about the AGI part. I think AGI is it's like the theory of everything in physics. You don't really need it, in my opinion. It's just like, why do you need one theory which describes all four forces when you can just have one theory for each one, which actually is good enough to get you the results you need. I think this is the same thing as AGI. AGI is not really needed. You have a task and you have a narrow AI which does that task really well. Well, I think obviously the difference is we probably will move towards something. Like, there's no reason to not make something be able to do more. People always like to optimize. So I think we'll always try to move towards AGI anyway, even if I don't think it's strictly needed. I think a future with millions of AIs or hundreds of thousands of AIs is much more likely than a future with one AI. So when I think safe, I think like we'll have the most lag time to be replaced by AI. Yeah, that's a fair way to look at it. As jobs are replaced, other jobs become more saturated by people trying to get work, and salaries will fall. So I don't think anything is actually safe. This is also a good point. You know, let's say 10% of the workforce is replaced by AI. They're not just going to sit and do nothing. They need money, most likely. So they will be going into other jobs. Those jobs will then be, yeah, it's just going to be, there will be a bit of an effect. But you probably need more skilled people. Are skilled. I know some people don't like that. More engineers rather than less, most likely. Who knows? Instead of trying to get in a field, you think it will be spared. Oh, by the way, I did ask. Let's see if I've got it open. I've got too many things open at any one time. I was like, hey, what would ChatGPT think about this? The first thing ChatGPT, I asked the same question. Just out of curiosity. ChatGPT, and I probably got it from this Reddit post, funnily enough, said skilled trades and field technicians, healthcare, personal care, doctors, nurses, physical therapists. Yeah, stuff like this where people actually want people. Home, creative high-level decision-making roles, software engineers, designers, lawyers, judges, business strategists. I don't know, I can see a case for lawyers. Again, you'll have the lawyer be accountable, but I feel like AI is going to be able to do, you know, a lot of the analysis of evidence and sort of understanding, you know, I don't know, contract law and stuff like that, being able to understand the technicalities of the language and stuff like that. So I'm not sure how safe anyone really is. If AI replaces jobs, the people who will build and maintain AI systems will stay in demand. Yeah, especially robotics. I feel like robots will continue to break unless you have like feedback loops of like, yeah, you, yeah. AI, I can see us reaching a point in AI where the AI sort of makes recommendations on improving itself. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there. Farmers, yeah, forestry workers. And I think with farmers, what it comes down to is equipment is really expensive. So, you know, if you have like, yeah, this all comes down to money, and things will only be replaced if they make financial sense. If you have a robot, that's great, but, you know, it breaks after 5 years or whatever, or needs battery replacements or whatever. It just comes down to money, you know. Will it make financial sense? If it makes financial sense, then it will probably be replaced. So, politicians. Politicians is probably true. They sort of make the rules. They're going to make sure they keep themselves around. They should be the first to be replaced by AI. Handling babies. I definitely agree with this. No, like, you want actual people. Again, a computer can never be held accountable. Professional skateboarder. Well, no one wants to see AI kickflip a 12 stair. Actually, I do want to see that, and they want to see that. They want to see that. Will they? I just don't think there would be, unless, you know, like an F1, you have the driver, and then you also have the team, like the car. Would it be like that? Would it be there's a bunch of different professional skateboarders, and each, it would be like a team that builds their own different robots, rather than like some commercial robot, if you will. In which case, I can see people being interested on like who's better based on the engineering, if you will. I think that would be quite cool. But it would be a different profession, you know. It wouldn't be. I do think I do think people, you can see there's a lot of kickback on AI already, and people like seeing people do things rather than AI. I don't know. Come on now, this is 100% obvious. Oligarch. Nursing. True, thing is, whatever job is the first to come to mind, like nursing and trades, will for sure become oversaturated. This is what someone else stated. So any job which is sort of safe will get an influx in people wanting to go into that career because they think it's going to be safe. So really, you want to go into the job that isn't safe because no one's going to be going for that job and there's going to be a lack of demand in that job. So right now, the best thing to become is a programmer. I don't know. This is not career advice. Yes, exactly right. Jobs that combine intelligence with dexterity and spatial awareness plus environment adaptability should be more secure than pure knowledge jobs. The key word here is should be more secure than pure knowledge jobs. Again, it's the financial incentive at this point still. It's just a reality. It's always going to be down to that. I'm already worried today, lol. My activity is purely administrative. If your activity is purely manual activities, will be, yeah, I mean, this is, sounds like an easy job to automate. And probably should be automated already. Does anyone know if there's any political movement regarding this? Only in Hollywood. What was it? Was it the, I'm pretty sure the actors were they on strike about AI or something like that? I can't remember. Overseeing robots. It's probably going to, yeah, I agree with this. If you have the skills, go into like robotics. I doubt you'll be out of a job in this lifetime, to be honest. Unless you live for a long time. I think if you like making things, you can make more things. This is what everyone should be doing. Imagine a world where you just build all the things you need. That'd be cool. I think if you like making things, you can make more things. Whatever thing is, if you like making video games, I think video games is still a good idea. Unless we get AIs that can like pump out fully fledged, unique video games. That would be crazy. But I don't know. I say that too much. I'm going to stop saying I don't know. But the reality is I don't know, and I'm just trying to be honest. It's hard to predict the future. I think it's easy to be like a tech optimist like Musk or Sam Altman and just factually state like, oh yes, AI is going to replace everything. Like that is their business at the end of the day. And Elon's been promising self-driving cars for 10 years now at least. And while I do think progress is, I don't want to call it inevitable. Progress is not inevitable, technological. Like someone has to make it, but it does. For now, we've not really slowed down, I think. Anyway, I went a bit on a ramble there. Jobs that will easily be replaced. 90% of jobs where you work in front of a computer all day or mostly. So white collar work, white collar welfare, we call that. Like my job. Jobs that will be harder to replace. Very high level white collar jobs. Like the best of the best in engineering, software development, also blue collar jobs. The more skill and harder the required movement abilities, the later it will be replaced. This is the thing, like, I know I keep saying it, but it comes down to, does it make financial sense? Like, let's say you have a robot that costs, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a physio today, because wasn't there a thing, honestly, someone would have to tell me what it is, but wasn't there like a thing in the military? I don't even know which military. Is it like, I don't really know my airplanes, but there was like a plane which had, I guess, a team, and they wanted to make a self-flying version of this. So basically like a UAV, I guess. That's probably the wrong terminology. Apologies. Just like an unmanned flight airplane type thing. But it then ended up needing a much bigger team in order to actually take care of that than they initially had. So the team actually ended up needing more jobs than before, which was the opposite of what they were trying to do. I don't think that's predictable currently. I know I didn't explain that very well, but that's because it wasn't really well thought out in my head. No job is secure. The real question is, how long until job XYZ can be replaced by machines? And the answer to all of them is always not long. This is the thing. I think almost any job can be replaced. It's just the desire. What's going to be replaced first? And with aging, reversal, and perhaps even immortality, everyone who survives will probably live to see it. I'm not sure about that. I don't think I'm going to live to 150 or forever. Maybe. Human interstellar traveling tester. Like being a lab mouse for space travel. Some of you may die. Regardless of job type, the last jobs to go will be those in heavily regulated industries. I think that's what a lot of people forget here. And especially, look, in America, sometimes I think there's less regulation, less sort of, I guess, labor laws. And I think because of that, you do see more progress, as we've seen. But in places like Europe, there's more regulation. There just is. So it probably will have less effect here in the short term. At the end of the day, this will be a political issue. It's already a political and cultural issue. So it'll be interesting to see how different governments sort of deal with this. Politics and law will be the last to go. I agree with politics. I'm not sure about law. Unless they mean law enforcement more. Sort of policemen and stuff. Probably don't want... I don't know. 99% of you will be re-employed as fertilizer. What do you mean by the future? 5, 10, 20, 40 years? Not welding. Ask me how. I know. As a 37-year-old with a trade school in welding. The ultimate scientific goal of AI is to make machines that exceed human capabilities in every perspective until regulations are placed or science stops advancing. In the long future, every job will be replaced by AI, but it doesn't mean it's definitely a bad thing. Yeah, this comes down to like legislation and just how we get our stuff together, you know. Hard takeoff. Yeah, maybe no jobs will be replaced by AI. Well, I guess some will. Billionaire. Investor. AGI investor. I mean, investor is definitely something that can be replaced. Like, okay, you need the capital, but an AI will probably be much better at allocating resources. Healthcare, construction, entertainment. Care work broadly. Just buy land. Lots of land. And actually, an interesting thought I've just had. Let's go to construction. It doesn't matter, I just picked that because it's there. Let's say a bunch of jobs are replaced with AI. And now we've got a bigger labour pool and they're all fighting for less jobs. I know someone else has already said that. But what happens then, theoretically, is the wages get driven down. And maybe the wages get driven down enough to the point where it doesn't make sense to replace those jobs with AI. I mean, that's definitely a concerning future. You don't want that to happen. What I'm saying is there's loads of jobs being filled by like low wages. They might just have people working those jobs rather than a robot which they have to pay for on a subscription and maintain and stuff, whatever. None. I think none is wrong. AGI manager. Mechanical watchmaking. RNG. Random number generator. Anyone who tries to generate random numbers in a procedural way is living in sin. I'm thinking labour. Trades and healthcare. Maybe competitive sports. I think definitely competitive sports because, like I said, you might have a sort of F1 situation, but it would be a completely different sport. No one wants to watch robots play football. Or, you know, like you just want to see people do that. Entertainment, psychology, robotics. When I say no one, I mean no one wants to see it replaced. I can imagine a separate category. Athletes, chemistry. There's literally no way to know what the future looks like. Yeah. This is how I feel. That's why I kept saying I don't know. You know, it's fun to do these videos, it's fun to read what people say, and it's fun to speculate and sometimes give nonsense answers. But the reality is, no one really knows. Not really. Deep knowledge of a very specific niche. No, I feel like that's the one thing. AIs will be really good. Like that's, I like couldn't agree less. I feel like that's exactly what it can be really good at. The more specific a niche, the better the AI can be at it. It's just how I feel. Barbers, social network zoo exhibition. I don't even know what that is. Sculptural art. I guess an actual piece of sculptural art cannot be replaced by an AI. I think I have to agree. Machine learning engineering. No, that's naive. Warlord, guaranteed job security. Yeah, they're probably right. I feel like that might be the most secure job out there. Should we all become warlords? I don't even know how you become a warlord. Undertaker, Geek Squad. Is that still a thing? Geek Squad. Geek Squad is a... Oh, is it a Best Buy thing? I didn't know that. I've just sort of seen it in like American sitcoms. Sports, that's how I will blast past really talented people living on UBI. I bet they don't. The thing is, becoming an athlete is out of sports. Becoming an athlete is already like near impossible. Like you have to be the best of the best and get lucky. I'll never change my mind on that. Digging graves, running mortuaries, therapist. But it can be replaced. It's just going to come down to, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Let me know your thoughts below. And yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe, all that stuff. Become my channel member. Become my first member. And yeah, take care.